Sup guys, back with another second channel banger, and not sure in which order I'm gonna upload my videos. This is another off-topic video, so if you're only here for League, that's not the video for you. It actually is kind of for League though, but in general for life, I think it's kind of a follow-up video for my previous video, my first one. Gonna take this, why I explain it in my how to use your addictions to win in life video. Addictions are not a good thing. If you can use them though to get the life you want, you can kind of abuse the system a bit, the matrix. So take this. I know it looks disgusting, but this is an uncut channel. So basically, we are going to talk about one thing, which is basically this right here. Momentum, right? Do it for 30 days. So in order to win in life, I know this is a very broad term, but like talking about winning, right? Not getting a millionaire. No, whatever it is for you, it applies to this. If you want to be a rapper, if you want to be this or that, most likely anything but working a 9-to-5 slave job, right? Which is very ironic. No one actually means that. So momentum, do it for 30 days. The concept of momentum, and this is something even Andrew Tate agrees on, who's honestly not a bad dude, but I think even if you like Andrew, I don't think he's a bad guy. He's certainly in the fucking mafia. Who doesn't believe that it's disgusting? Like, he was in the UFC. Bro, if you're in the UFC in Europe, you are actually, you being in the mafia is more likely than you. I don't fucking know. It's very likely. So he's in the mafia. Who gives a shit? He is right about one thing, and I'm not saying it because he said there's a lot of more smarter people than him talking about this. Momentum, speed is what carries you in life. And the thing with momentum is it can go both ways. You can basically have negative or positive momentum. What that means for a person is very self-explanatory. Anything that is good in your life or bad. Obviously, if you do drugs, that can actually be kind of glitched in a way. So even though you're doing something bad, addictions, you can turn it into something positive. But it's more so like, let's talk about stuff like you want to improve in League. You want, I don't know, a nice body. I don't fucking know. Typical stuff, get your money up. That type of stuff. Momentum is the biggest key factor because it's a universal principle that, think about a raindrop. That is a very weak force, rain pouring onto fucking cement on fucking street, right? But if there is a drop, as weak as it may be, right, at a certain point with momentum and consistency, I should add this to this, there will be some sort of change even on something as strong as cement, right? I think even if you had a diamond and there is rain pouring onto that, as weak as it may be, opposed to diamond, at some point in time, millions of years maybe, because it's a very weak force and an immovable object, that thing will have some structural changes. And you can make structural changes in your life, your mind, your thought patterns, everything that is actually worthwhile that no one teaches. So I'm asking you, how addicted are you to losing if you do not do something just for 30 days? Let's talk about League of Legends because that's what my main channel is about. If you cannot spend 10 minutes or 5 minutes a day thoroughly analyzing your VODs, your gameplay for 30 days consistently, how bad do you want to lose? How bad? You have to understand the difference between people who are successful and who are not is consistency, which directly transfers into momentum. I don't care if it's about the gym or anything. If you want to achieve something, people just do a good job if they actually, the first step is doing a good job. The second step is carrying that momentum through the entire day, right? Even if your task is finished, let's say you did a reward review, you got into a coaching session with me, we went over your play, Bam, next day, apply it, think about it, review it. Then we get into the next coaching session. Positive, right? We talked about it in that first video on this channel. Using that mindset, which is life changing, and just positive momentum is also a thing, right? That's what I talked about in the first video, essentially. If you cannot do something, even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes a day, right? I'm not saying you should watch review for 5 hours. That gives you burnout. You have to adapt, right? Your mind is like a muscle. You have to adapt. And I know this is very common sense, especially in the Red Pill community. But they teach it different. They say hard work, hard work. No, don't work hard. Do it without resistance at all. That's why I'm saying use your addictions and combine them with something positive. That's why I'm using fucking snooze every fucking video, because it's positive for me in a way. I know I'm gonna do this shit regardless, so I might as well combine it, right? And if you cannot do that, then you really have to go in your brain and think, do you even want to achieve that? Because I can tell you, every single person, whatever it is, I'm not talking about money, I'm talking about even if you're a dad who works 9 to 5, maybe you just want a nice family life. I don't fucking know, right? Maybe you need to get your money up in order to provide it because you're piss broke, right? Well, you don't care about the money, but you care about your children being able to go on a fucking school trip, and not being a broke fucker who says, nah, stay at home. Well, then your job is for 30 days just doing. I'm talking about doing stuff, not fucking thinking, I'm thinking doing. So if you do the VOD review, you apply that knowledge and you actually take a fucking piece of paper and you write down what you're seeing. Like, if you're that lazy to not do that shit, do you even want that? And if you do, then fucking get up and do that shit. Again, this is not a Red Pill video. Do it hard work, blah, blah, blah. No, this is actual advice. Or maybe not advice, but more of an eye-opener. I won't even make this video too long. I'm gonna keep it short and simple, guys. Pick one fucking thing you actually think you want to achieve. Do it for 30 days. And I don't care if you hate what you're doing, you still do it for 30 days and then you decide, right? Because I can tell you, even the first time you do something, it sucks. Habits take like 2 to 3 weeks to build. 4 weeks is way too much. It doesn't take that long. It will suck, and your brain will go into panic mode and tell you, no, I don't want that, right? It's too hard. I don't want to be a fucking D1 lineman in fucking football. I don't want that. I don't want to fucking, fuck music. I don't want to do my career in that. Okay, I don't give a shit. You still do it for 30 days, even if it's just 10 minutes a day writing a fucking bar for your rap song. I don't care, whatever it is, right? So you do that for 30 days, even though your brain tricks you into thinking, nah, let's do something different. That is the shiny object syndrome, right? And that is a direct cause of chronic procrastination, which is just a cause of, in most cases, not actually knowing what you got to do. If your brain tricks your mind, which is very weird in itself, but it makes a lot of sense. So pick something right now, take a piece of paper, write on the paper, cut it in a way so you can have it in your pocket every time. Look at it in the morning, evening and afternoon before you go to sleep. Very important. Do that thing. First thing, second thing, I don't care. Preferably first thing in the morning. Try to do it. If it's possible. If not, do it that day. Set the goal low and increase it each day, so at 30 days you have the most output, and after that you decide if you keep going. And I will tell you, you will most likely. Why? Because your brain is at a point where it became a habit, and you're actually at the point after 30 days where you can make a assessment of what you're doing is working or not, or you actually like it. I don't give a shit if you don't like that shit after one day. That is just your brain literally being your worst enemy. Like, that is just satanic. Like, that is not you. That is a fucking negative force in your mind, which is satanic. If you want to call it like that. So yeah, guys, this is a quick, spicy one. Momentum, the biggest force in this universe. You can literally bend a fucking diamond with enough momentum combined with consistency. Yeah, for my league people, bro, if your goal is challenger, I don't care. Just say, what do I have to do to get there? Believe in it and do the bare minimum for 30 days. If you cannot do the bare minimum, well, I don't care, do it for 30 days. If you still don't like it, well, at that point, that is most likely not what you were meant to do, because if it was, you would like to keep going after 30 days. And then it becomes very easy to succeed, because if you have some slight progress and you are enjoying what you're doing, you're already halfway there. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.